Hello students, welcome. Myself Kavita Coburne from Gokhale Education Society's English Medium High School, Ozer Township. Today I am going to present the second video of the 10th Science 2, chapter number 2's second part. In this video, we are going to study the Science 2's lesson number 2, Life Process in Living Organisms part 1, second part. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the food components and two types of cell division, that is mitosis and meiosis. Now we will start with the diet. In this diet you are just consuming different type of foods. It contains carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, vitamins and minerals, which all are essential for the proper functioning of our body. These all are complex substances. This has to be converted into simple substances first, then only the cell can utilize it. So the carbohydrate has to be converted into glucose. Proteins are converted into amino acids and lipids are converted into fatty acids and alcohol. Then only our cell can use it. Excessive of the carbohydrates are stored in our liver and in the muscles in the form of glycogens. 1 gram of protein and carbohydrates give us 4 kilocalories of energy to our body. Now look at the figure. In this figure, the proteins are shown and the different amino acids are produced by the different parts of our bodies. We will start with the top, that is the skin. The skin is producing the melanin and the keratin by using the proteins. The melanin is giving the color to our skin, that is protecting us from the UV rays. Bones, they are using the proteins and they are producing the osine amino acid, and which helps in the modeling of the bones. Next is the cell, which is also using the protein for making the cell membrane, and various of enzymes are produced from this amino acids. Next, the pancreas, which is producing the insulin and the trypsin. Insulin, you know that it is controlling the blood glucose in our body, and the trypsin, it helps to digest the protein in the small intestine of our body. Pituitary gland also uses the proteins for producing the various types of proteins, which act like a chemical signaling molecules. These molecules or these signals, they help in control the growth, development, metabolism, reproduction and the psychological process of your body. To produce various hormones, these proteins are used by the pituitary glands. Now, muscles are using it to produce the actin and myosin. Actin for the cell movement in contracting the muscles, and myosin, it is used to convert the ATP molecules into the mechanical energy. The last one is the blood. Blood is using it just for producing the hemoglobin and the antibodies over there. Hemoglobin, it helps in transportation of oxygen, and antibodies, yes, they are very necessary to fight against the diseases. So they are also very useful to neutralize the pathogens. The next one is the lipids. Yes, it is giving maximum energy. 1 gram of lipids can give you 9 kilocalories of energy. Lipids are actually the fatty acids and plus alcohol. They form the lipids. Now these lipids helps in the formation of the plasma membrane. At the stage of adolescence, some hormones are secreted by our bodies. They are the progesterone, estrogen, testosterone and adulterosterone. They are produced with the help of fatty acids. Next one, the fatty acids are also important in the formation of covering of the axon of the nerve cells. You know the structure of nerve cells. It is having a tail-like structure that is called as an axon. For covering that, these lipids are very, very important. After the lipids, the next important is the vitamins. There are 6 main types of vitamins are there. There are many sub kinds of it also. A, D, E, K and B, C. They are the 6 main vitamins. They are categorized into 2 categories. First one is fat soluble. The second one, vitamin B2 and B5. They are necessary for the production of NADH2 and FADH2, which you have learned in glycolysis process. They are the energy currencies. For production of this, the vitamins are very necessary and essential also. Next important, we can say the most important one, that is the water. Our body is made up of 60 to 70% of water. Even our cell also, they are made up of 70% of water it is. So water is very essential for circulation of all the food constituents in body. Fibers are also essential nutrients in our body. It helps in the digestion of the food and also in the digestion of the undigested food. If undigested food is not removed, then it will definitely create a problem and it started producing the toxic substances in our body. So vitamins and fibers are necessary. Now all these constituents are used by the cell and the cell undergoes the cell division now. In our bodies, we have the different cells. Somatic cell, germ cells, and the reproductive cells are there. Two types of cell division takes place in our body. That is the mitosis and the meiosis. Mitosis take place in the somatic or the germ cells. Mitosis is responsible for the growth, restoration of the emaciated body parts, wound healing, and the formation of the blood cell. So other than the reproductive cells, in other cells the mitosis takes place. Meiosis specially takes place in the reproductive cells. Meiosis will produce the new offspring or the new generation can be produced by the meiosis process. It is not a continuously going on process. It is just a recombination of the chromosomes. We will see in the coming part. Before we start learning the division process, first of all we will see the cell, what it consists of. In the cell, what is divided, what is producing, that we have to learn. Now you all have learned that the cell is consist of the nucleus. In the side figure, you can see the nucleus is present. In that nucleus, you can see the thread-like structures are there. They are the chromosomes. And the chromosome structure, last year you have learned different types of chromosomes are there. When the two chromatin fibers are attached, then the middle one, where they are attached, that portion is called as a centromere. So it is a pair of chromosomes. In the figure, you can see that the DNA fibers, DNA thread-like structures, it is totally coiled up in the chromosomes there. And that is responsible for the heredity and evolution that we have learned in the chapter number 1. Next here, that is diploid and haploid. What do you mean by diploid and haploid? Diploid means two sets of chromosomes together. Then haploid means only one set of chromosomes. In diploid, total 46 chromosomes are there. And in haploid, there are 23 chromosomes. Diploid, it is written as 2n and the haploid is written as n. So, when the reproduction takes place, that time these haploid cells combine together and the diploid cells are formed. Now we will start up with the mitosis process. Mitosis process, it is consist of two stages, karyokinesis and cytokinesis. Karyokinesis means in which the nucleus is divided and the cytokinesis means in which the cytoplasm is divided. Prophase is the first stage of mitosis. In the given figure, you can see the prophase stage. In that initial one, that is early prophase, you can see the thread-like structures. The chromosomes are there. In this, the chromosomes started condensing and started forming the chromatids. The centriole present in the cytoplasm, they started duplicating themselves. And slowly, the nucleolus, that is the nuclear membrane, they started disappearing. You can see the chromosome fibers, they are just becoming thick. They are coiling up around themselves and they are becoming thick chromatids over there. And these chromatids are attached to each other at the centromere and then they forms the chromatids in the prophase stage. And you can see the centrioles are also get divided into two parts and the nucleus membrane also started disappearing. After the prophase, the next one is the metaphase. In this metaphase stage, you can see that the chromosomes, they have already condensed and the chromatid sisters are formed. They are aligned in the equatorial plane of the cell, in the middle of the cell you can see. and here the thread-like structure forms. They are called as a spindle fiber. These spindle fibers are attached to the centromere of the chromatid sisters and the centrioles. The next phase is the anaphase. In this anaphase, you can see that the centromere is split. They are just the chromatid fibers. They are getting pulled apart from each other in the two different opposite poles of it. Sister chromatids, they become the daughter chromosomes over there. This is looking like a bunch of bananas. The thread-like structures, they are pulling the chromatid fibers towards the opposite poles. Now here comes the last stage of the mitosis, that is the telophase. Telophase, it is called as a reverse of prophase. In the prophase, the chromosomes are just condensing, but in telophase, the chromosomes are decondensing, means they are unwinding themselves. They are getting separated one. Here the nuclear membrane two and the nucleolus is started forming. Two nucleus you can see in the one cytoplasm. In this way, the karyokinesis completes, that is, the division of the nucleus finishes in this stage. The next starts, that is the cytokinesis. Cytokinesis is the cytoplasmic replication, that is, it started dividing. A notch develops in between the cell. The cytoplasm started dividing. In animal cell, it get divided into two parts, but in the plant cell, they forms a cell plate in place of notch, and the two new cells are formed like this by the process of mitosis. Now the next cell division we have to see, that is the meiosis. Meiosis takes place in two stages. Here some of the information it is given, it is not required and it is not asked in the exam. Just for your information, this is given to you. The first stage of the meiosis, prophase 1, is leptotin. Initially the chromosome starts condensation and they became compact during the leptotin. The next one is the zygote. In zygote, homologous chromosomes starts pairing. This pairing is called as a synapsis. In this, the chromosomes chromatid arms divides and form the structure called as a bivalent or a tetrad. The next one is the diplotin. During the diplotin, the synaptomial complex dissolves and the homologous chromosomes of the bivalent separates except at the point of crossing over. Here, the prophase 1 of the meiosis 1 completes and the next one is the metaphase 1. It is as like that of the mitosis process. Here, the recombination and the crossing over of the chromosomes takes. After the metaphase, the anaphase and the telophase is same like that in the mitosis process. The chromatin fibers are detaching, the spindle fibers are attracting towards the poles and the new cells are formed from this. After the meiosis 1, the meiosis 2 takes place. Meiosis 2 is just like the mitosis. In this stage, the two haploid daughter cells formed in the meiosis 1, which undergo the division by separation of the recombined sister chromatids, and the four haploid daughter cells are formed. Haploid means single set of chromosomes. Process of gamete production and the spore formation occurs by this meiosis. In this type of cell division, four haploid means single set of chromosomes daughter cells are formed from one diploid cell. Two sets of chromosomes, that is 46 chromosomes. During this cell division, crossing over occurs. This crossing over takes place between the homologous chromosome. Homologous means same. And thereby a genetic recombination occurs. A new variety is formed. Due to this all, the four daughter cells are genetically different from the parent cells and from each other also. So like this, the mitosis and meiosis process we completed in this chapter. And now the assignment time. Your assignment is read the lesson and solve the exercise. Goodbye to all.